Hello, hello. We have come to the final part of talking about the resurrection of Christ. So, we have mentioned earlier that there are various naturalistic explanation as to what happened surrounding the events of the death of Christ and his resurrection, such as the disciples were hallucinating, or that they went to the wrong tomb, or Jesus was just apparently dead. He actually just lost his consciousness on the cross, or that the disciples stole the body of Christ. And today I'd like to talk about there's a theory according to which the New Testament authors were copying ancient myths. Now, the definition of a myth is a traditional or legendary story, usually concerning some being or hero or event with or without a determinable basis of fact or a natural explanation, especially one that is concerned with deities or demigods and explains some practice, rite, or phenomenon of nature. Stories or matter of this kind means realm of myth. I read somewhere that if there's an event, it could be even historical event, that there's a historical event, but then you can't give a naturalistic explanation and you invoke the help or the existence of a deity or God, that would be considered myth. And according to this, they say the New Testament is not valid, let's put it this way, because the authors were using pagan myths. They were copying from pagan myths. And as an evidence, they use the possible resurrection of Marduk, Adonis, or Osiris. But the problem is, it's the New Testament stories, the Gospels. They're not like myths, because they're talking about eyewitness accounts, talking about where eyewitness accounts reporting historical events or historic people who existed, historical figures. And C.S. Lewis, who he himself was writing myths, he didn't think that the New Testament was based on myths, because what he said is, all I am in private life is a literary critic and historian. That's my job. And I am prepared to say on that basis, if anyone thinks the Gospels are either legends or novels, then that person is simply showing his incompetence as a literary critic. I've read a great many novels and I know a fair amount about legends that grew up among early people, and I know perfectly well that the Gospels are not that kind of stuff. So C.S. Lewis, a literary critic, didn't think that the Gospels were that sort of materials. And also, if you think about the problems, you have the issue of the empty tomb, eyewitness account, non-Christian authors, non-Christian writings. For example, early Jewish writings or authors, they knew that the resurrection of Christ wasn't myth or legend, that they were trying to explain true events. However, they just didn't believe it. They didn't accept it to be true events, but they knew that that's what they were trying to do, to explain a historic event. And the other thing about the Greeks or the Romans is that they were polytheists. They believed in many gods. And even if you were talking about reincarnation, they understood reincarnation to be born again into another body, not in the same one like Christ did, that he died and he came back in the same body. But the other thing is, the first God who died and was resurrected, he didn't even exist until 150 AD. The first God before Christ who survived his own death, if you will, was Osiris, who was chopped up into 14 pieces and he was scattered around Egypt. And then Isis took the parts, gathered apart, and then that's how he came back to life. But if you think about it, that story sounds a little bit different. And I was thinking about it, what's the best way to what's the best way to analogize it, to use an analogy. And I was thinking about music. So in music, you have different chords. Your songs are built on certain chords, and these chords are literally what you hear in the harmonies in the songs. And each chord has a name. But there's I took four chords, which is C major, A minor, F major, G major. These are four chords, right? Now on these four chords, there are so many songs that are built. But you wouldn't say that they were copying them, even though the basis is the same. There are songs like Black Eyed Peas, Where is the Love, Alphaville, Forever Young, Elton John, Can You Feel the Love Tonight, Lady Gaga, Paparazzi, U2, With or Without You, just to name a few. The Beatles, Let It Be, Bob Marley, No Women, No Cry, Aha, Take On Me, Green Day, When I Call Around, Toto, Africa, Avril Lavigne, The Offspring, Bon Jovi, even Eminem featuring Rihanna. Imagine Eminem featuring Rihanna, Love the Way You Like, is the same chord progression or has the same four chords as Bon Jovi, It's My Life. Or Bon Jovi, It's My Life has the same chords as Aqua, Barbie Girl. Or Michael Jackson's Man in the Mirror. What I'm trying to say is, yes, they have similarities in that these songs are built on the same four chords, but you don't say that because there are similarities between them. You don't say that, oh yeah, there's a similarity, therefore I know they stole each other's songs, because you just don't do that. And I just wanted to use it as an illustration, really, that just because there are similarities between stories, it doesn't mean that the stories are fabrication or one story gave the idea for the other story. Bye.